Welcome to the SCLD podcast, where we talk about all the things you can do and find at the library.
Hello, I'm Erin Dodge with Spokane County Library District, and today with me is Patrick Rowe, Executive Director, and Jane Baker, Communication and Development Director, both with Spokane County Library District. Welcome.
Thank you.
Good morning.
Good morning. Yeah.
Thank you. And we are talking about the new Spokane Valley Library, the grand opening of it, and then we're also talking about the Library Foundation of Spokane County and their fundraising for that library, including some opportunities for sponsors of different areas that they can get some naming rights and some prominent recognition.
Right.
So let's dive in with, tell us about the library, how it came about, how we paid for it, how big is it, what is it all going to be?
Sure. So this is a process about a decade in the making.
Okay.
It initially started in 2012 in a collaboration with the city of Spokane Valley, where we purchased land from them for a new library across the street from what is now the City Hall. We attempted 2 bonds to fund it. They both, unfortunately, failed.
But like by a
small
hair,
margin,
like
yes.
a small
Super majority votes. They need 60%. They got in the 50s. So I got close, but just not
Okay.
close enough. So,
All right.
and then in about 2020, I think, started looking at, or 2019 in earnest, looking at how to get this new library funded and built.
Right.
So the last 3 years we've secured funding. We have a loan through the state treasurer's office called a local program, which provides low interest loans to local government agencies. We've secured a $2 million grant from the state for the library capital improvement program, which is approved by the state legislature. We have a commitment from the city of Spokane Valley for about $800,000 towards joint site improvements for the area,
Okay.
things like parking lots and things that both park goers and library goers will use. And then we've got our savings to top it off. So total is about $50 million project.
Okay.
We're pretty close to opening at this point.
Yay.
It's about a few weeks away.
I think you drive down Sprague, you see it just
Yeah.
right across City Hall, just getting bigger and bigger. And
Right. Yeah. So it's a really exciting project for us because it's both been a decade in the making, but it's right next to a forthcoming expansion of Balfour Park.
Okay.
So you will have at some point a basically almost complete civic campus, so to speak, where you got City Hall across the street, you've got the library, and then you've got an expanded Balfour Park. And
Okay.
they're breaking ground on that project pretty soon as well,
good.
my understanding is. So.
And Balfour Park right now is sort of tucked behind the fire department. Is that
Right.
okay?
So
And
yeah.
that's going to expand over to the library, and the library's they're going to kind of meet in the middle.
Right. So if you're driving down Sprague, you'll see the library on what is the southwest corner of the property, and then a big, what is now kind of a blank canvas, so to speak.
Yeah.
That'll be the park ground. So there are plans for amenities like sports courts and a splash pad, a playground. So once that's completed, it's a several phase process for the city, but once that's completed, it'll be pretty exciting to be part of that kind of civic campus, that kind of central area for the community to gather. So yeah.
That's going to be nice.
Yeah.
So you talked about how the construction has been funded, and what will people find when they go inside the library? What's going to be new or special or different?
Well, they're going to find a 28,000 square foot
Okay.
library.
So a lot of space.
A lot of things they're familiar with. So they'll have, ample shelves for all our materials and resources, but also you'll find some new amenities. So we have our Diane E. Zahan Community Room, which is our program room, our kind of our event space. If you've been to the current library, those sort of rooms are an afterthought, right? It's stuck in the basement.
Yeah.
There's no windows. There's no daylight. And the new one is front and center. So we reserve the best view for the community room for this event room. So you'll have fully integrated with AV. You can have up to 250 people in the space. There is what we call a wet ready side, which is where we can have programs that get messy.
Oh, okay.
So,
Okay.
think crafts and creative stuff like that for kids, easy to mop up. And then we have a side that's more kind of a traditional, event lecture venue. And then there's a wall that separates them, then you can have it wide open for a larger event.
Okay.
And that space also can spill out into the library proper and onto the plaza
Okay.
outside. So
That's cool.
so that's one of our more prominent spaces. We have our STCU studio,
Yes.
where you can record, mix, edit your own podcast, videos, stuff like that. You want to bring your band in to record your album?
fun.
That'll be the space for you.
Oh, that sounds great.
And then we have four, I had to count in my head. We have four conference rooms for the public to use as well. So, right now, again, we have one stuck in the basement, and we've expanded that to four. So if you have your car club or your homeschooling group or anything like that, you're welcome to book those spaces for at no cost to meet with your friends and your fellow collectors and creators. So
very cool. And so the current Valley, you said there's a basement and then there's 2 floors. So what's the layout of this library?
Yeah, so this is a single floor,
Okay.
more efficient to run, more efficient to manage. The 3-floor library we have right now, 3-floor, library we have right now is a lot of unused space because of things like elevators and elevator shafts and stairways and things like that. So we've really maximized the public space for this new library.
Wonderful.
So it's going to feel voluminous when you walk in. It's going to
Right.
high ceilings, lots of natural light. It's going to feel big and prominent because that's what it is.
Right.
And also mention we have a staff side too, where we have things like our mobile services fleet is based out of there. So the vehicles that travel the county providing library services, those who don't have a library nearby,
Right.
that's all based out of the valley too. So you'll see a big garage on one side. That's where we keep
And we
all
have
our,
that van, and then we have Link, the big truck.
we have Link,
that's
the big truck,
the mobile library.
Yeah, so that's all run out of that building too. So there'll be kind of a back of the house side for outreach services, and then obviously the big part of it is the library itself for the public. So yeah.
And so this is located in Spokane Valley, across from City Hall. Who does this serve? What is the area for the folks that?
Sure. It's the greater Spokane Valley, we like to say. Obviously, most directly the citizens of the city of Spokane Valley who we're building it for. But any library user, interested party is welcome to come by. So.
Oh, good. Great. So the question everybody's probably asking you, and I'm going to ask it as well, when is the grand opening?
Yeah. So we are aiming for June 17th, a Saturday.
Okay.
So middle of the month. Right around the time schools get out, so it seems like a good timing for that. We're on target for that right now, but we'll have more official announcements as we.
They're doing finishing touches,
Yep,
and
we still got a few more weeks of construction work to go, but right now, knock on wood, we're on target for June 17th.
wonderful. That's great.
And if I could add, it's
Yes.
just in time for the kickoff of summer reading.
Summer reading. So yeah, that's exciting. Summer reading, new library, new programs, lots of fun. Wonderful. We're going to switch, and we're going to talk a little bit about the foundation, the Library Foundation of Spokane County, and they're doing a fundraising campaign right now for the Valley, the new Valley Library. Can you tell us a little bit about that, Jane?
Sure. Well, the Library Foundation was established to raise money and support all the programs and things that the Spokane County Library District does. Excuse me. So part of that is helping raise funds, putting together this community campaign for the Spokane Valley Library. It's a very community-oriented area. Excuse me. And so to get the community involved, and because there was so much support, even though the bonds had failed, there was a lot of community support. So there are a lot of people that want to help do that. So we're raising the funds this way. There are naming and recognition opportunities. As we just mentioned, the Diane E. Zahan Community Room and the STCU Studio. And thank you to those people for their great contributions. We do have other opportunities that remain available. And also for the community, we have the pavers in the plaza. As Patrick mentioned, the community room will look out onto Balfour Park and kind of spill out onto that. And there is a large plaza or big patio right there. And there's going to be made up of 12 by 12 pavers in which people can sponsor these pavers and have an engraved personalized pavers. So you could put, your family's names, your kids' names, your birthday, your anniversary, or a sweet message of some sort that could be engraved on those pavers. So those are available to the community. Of course, any donation of any size is important to us and greatly appreciated.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And to find out more about this, you can go to supportscld.org. That's the foundation's website. And you'll find, or just hold up our giving opportunities. You'll find more information about all the ways you can give online. And then you can also look at the online version of this brochure as well.
Yep.
And so can you talk a little bit about what can be named? Like what can be sponsored? What types of things? We have a big community room already in the studio. So what's left?
Well, there's the plaza itself. We can have that named. There's the children's section, the adult section, computers. We have a complete list here. Everything from benches and trees to the electric vehicle charging station.
Okay. Ooh, I might want one of those.
I'll mention the conference rooms as well.
Yes.
Are
Oh,
featured
okay.
too. So
Yes.
Yeah. So the smaller conference rooms that there are going to be 4 of.
4 of.
Right.
Yep.
And this can be individuals, families, businesses, organizations.
Right.
Yeah. For more information, contact us, foundation@scld.org if you'd like to email us, or give the district here a call and
They'll direct you to
they'll direct you to the right
the right
place.
folks.
Putting a plug for the pavers again, a great way to celebrate, family and things like that. And a great way to surprise folks when you kind of walk up there casually and say, hey, whose name is there?
Thinking about surprises, I think the idea I heard floating around was, what if somebody proposed to somebody with a paver?
Yes,
There
yes.
you go. I
Wouldn't
like
that
that
be
idea.
sweet?
I had heard a story about that one time from someplace back east where a gentleman had asked his now wife to marry him by purchasing something like that and taking her there and having her turn around and see it. And then they still go there every year for their anniversary. How romantic is that?
That is romantic.
Anybody out there
Yes.
want to do that, we'll put you in a real prominent space in the plaza.
That's lovely.
Yeah.
All right. Well, yeah, and pavers. So you can memorialize pets and just loved ones. You can just celebrate
Your favorite book quote?
your favorite book quote. Yeah.
Or the
Great
teacher
ideas.
that taught you to read.
That's a great idea.
Yeah.
Your
something like
ideas
that.
are only limited by up to 60 characters total, right?
Yeah, it's just the space on the paver.
Everything brilliant
That's
come up
right,
within
that's
60
right.
characters you can put on there.
And we can help you abbreviate if needed.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Or get 2 pavers.
Hey, I like that idea.
There you go. There you go.
All right. Well, thank you, Patrick, Jane. This is great. I'm excited for the new Spokane Valley Library. I'm excited to see that plaza and all those pavers.
Yes.
It's going to be great.
There's going to be nothing like it in the valley. There's nothing like it currently in the Spokane Valley. So it's going to be very exciting.
Wonderful.
We'll look forward to seeing everybody there. Yeah.
Yeah. Hopefully you can make it there, and we will see you this summer at the new Spokane Valley Library on the corner of Harold and Sprague across from City Hall. And have a great day.